Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I've been sketching in Tayasui again, experimenting with more papers, and I've been playing around with the cut tool or the knife to help me compose a sketch as a preliminary drawing for a painting. So let's just get straight into it. So we're in Tayasui Sketches, and I'm going to create a new a new canvas, and I'm going to put my finger on that little cog because I'm into playing around with these papers now. I've discovered that we can change them, which I'd forgotten about. So I'm going to try Le Grand Bloc this time, and I'm going to adjust the colour slightly. And I quite like this. I've already been playing around and picked a colour I want, and it's sort of grey, warm grey colour. So I'm going to click on that, and there we are. We're all set to go. And what I'm going to paint today is this picture of these sheep. And what I want to do, in actual fact, I want to do a thumbnail. Maybe I think I'm just going to do one, but I'm going to draw elements separately. I've not done this before, and then position them to get the composition I want. So instead of doing 4 or 5 different thumbnails, I'm just going to do one, and I'm going to use a pencil, and I've set myself up with a brown and a black so I can slide between the colours to get different tones. And I'm going to do this field with the sheep in it, but I'm not happy where the sheep are. The composition's all wrong, and I want to resolve sort of tones and things like that. So because I'm going to do it this way, I can draw fairly big, which is nice, because if I'm going sort of full size, I can sort of work on a fair bit of detail and then reduce the size after. So I'm not even thinking about the composition at the minute. I'm thinking about this sheep and getting this sketched in. So I'm just sort of weighing up the proportions of everything. That kind of looks, that needs to come there a little bit. Oh, and I'm using a pencil, the middle square one. I quite like that for sketching with. It feels like a 6B to me, which is what I like to sketch with, so that's cool. Just sort of changing these up all the time. Wool, sorry. Fur. Dear me. So these don't have to be too accurate, because obviously this is a sketch for a painting further down the line. So I am going to do a painting of this as well, actually. The idea is I'm going to do this sketch today, and then later on I'm going to work it up into a painting. So I've got his ear completely wrong. Let's take that out. I can see that now. Pretty sure that looks kind of right. It needs to be not quite as big as I had it, actually. Sort of like that. That's better. I've got his body about right. I'm just wondering if his head's a little bit on the small side. Let's make it a bit bigger. we go, that's better, I think. So you can see I'm really loose sketching at the minute. Now that leg does not come down anywhere near to his nose. Finishes about there actually. So that makes me think that that needs to just go up a bit there. Possibly. I'll rub that out. Do it again, Steve. I know I said it doesn't have to be too accurate, but I kind of don't. I want it to look sort of reasonable. That's a bit better. I think I'm just wondering if I've now made the head too big. Bring that out there. I think this bit's right. That ear's not looking good. There we are. That's a bit better. Sort of like that. There, like that. Am I feeling that? I think so. I think that's all right. At this stage, just sort of getting it roughed in. Looking at Special K out the window. It's like the first day of spring today. The sun's shining. Special K's out there with a camera, taking a few pics of the garden. She's already been in, taking a few of me. Be interesting to see what they look like. There we go. So that's the first one done. So what I'm going to do, use the cut tool to draw around this sheep. It says it's copied. There we go. And I can move it and resize it if I want as well. So I can put that there out of the way and then draw the next one. But I'm wondering whether I should put them on layers, because I might want to put one of the sheep behind another one, which I can do, but I'd only be able to do it once if I've got them on the same layer. And then, so I think I'm going to put that there. Or I could have left it where it was actually, if I'm going to work on the same layer, and create a new layer, just so that when I move them around I can position them behind one another. So let's do the second one. I'm looking at the space between the legs and the thighs, I guess. I don't know what you call them. Now that comes more like that, I think. One leg going like that, one leg going down. I really like drawing in Tayasui, you know. It just feels so... It's just so realistic. I could be drawing on a piece of paper. It just feels so natural. That's the word I was looking for. Natural. And I know I know these legs are wrong. I'm now gonna try and sort that out. We're looking good, is that alright? Head's too big. Oh, I could, being as I'm using this technique, I could do that and shrink it down a little bit. Although I suspect that's going to be quite tricky to get it exactly how I want it. There, that will do. Oops. See, I missed that. It's got this quite an angle on the back. I used to do lots of sheep studies because coming from Derbyshire, there's sheep everywhere, and the actual symbol or mascot, I should say, is a ram. And wherever you go in the Peak District, which is in Derbyshire, there's sheep all over the place. So I used to do lots of sketches of sheep, and I used to be quite good at it. But it appears that I'm a bit out of practice. I'm going to shade these in after, by the way, because I want, when I've sized them all up, if I shrink them all now, if I show you what I mean, if I shade that in, oh, I don't know what's happening there. One shaded, there we go. If I shade that in and then reduce it in size, it's going to change the actual look of that shading, and I want it to look right over the old drawing. So I'm going to do that later. That's why I'm not doing it now. So that's the second one done. Let's just move this one down here. And it's on a different layer, so that's cool. I'll create one more layer for the third one. This one shouldn't be too difficult because it's pretty much in silhouette, and we're just looking at the back of it. So let's get this in. And once I've drawn these, the rest of the sketch is going to come together really, really easy. I'm getting impatient now. Can you tell I'm sort of, the pace of my sketching is speeding up, which is typical of me, really. As when I get into the flow, I get a lot faster very quick, and the sketching becomes a little bit more abstract. But it feels more intuitive. See, I know what that is. That's all I need for that, I think. That's the third one done. So now we just got to position these where we want them on the page. So I'm going to shrink. Oops! I'm going to shrink the page down a little bit, and there we go. Let's take. I suppose we'll go to the big one first. What have I done? Oh! Thought I deleted it. Let's choose the knife. And I'm thinking we'll put that on the third. Perhaps not quite as big as that. Maybe sort of... Oh, and you can duplicate this as well, I've discovered. If you sort of tap and move, you get a duplicate. I don't want to do that. I just want to move it. That'll probably be all right there, you know. I think we'll try that there to start with, and then let's move this one. Why has it changed colour? What have I done? There we go. Oops. Definitely needs to be smaller than that one. We could probably just put it behind it, you see, is what I'm thinking. Maybe there. And then the third one, obviously shrink that down inside. We could possibly put that, I don't know, maybe there, on the third that way, a little bit further back and a little bit smaller. Sort of there. That looks a cool place. So I've now got my sheep where I want them. I'm liking this. So now I can, should I merge these layers down? I'm not going to yet, because I may move them, but I think I'm going to leave them like that. I'll tell you what I like to do in Tayasui, in actual fact, is draw a sort of a frame around. I don't like to go to the edge of the page, so I like to sketch. So I may make everything a bit smaller in a second or two, but we'll see. That's it. I just like to do that. And on the photograph, we can see that the horizon is sort of quite high. Now, I was thinking I was going to lower it so it's sort of there, like that, which means this sheep is it's either been dropped from a plane and is parachuting in or something, or it's eaten some funny grass that's making it float. So I need to sort that out. So let's go back into this. Do you know what I've done? I've drawn the box on the layer that the sheep is on, but you know what? I don't think it matters now. I'm going to use that layer because I can do this. And I can move that down there like that, you see. And I think it needs to be a bit smaller. Oops, let's just undo that. What I'm going to do, in actual fact, before I do that, I'm going to take the eraser and just rub that out. And the reason for that is I can now put this sheep there, sort of like that. Make it a little bit smaller. Oh, it doesn't want me to do it. So a bit higher maybe. There, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm liking that. So that's now in position. So I can now draw that back in if I want. And we've got this sort of hedge. Now I can put this edge in, you see. This is going to act like a sort of a backlight. I'm using the side of the pencil now for a little bit of shading. And I am going to put some washes on this as well. Do my usual squiggly thing. I don't know why every now and again it puts these little dots. I don't know what's going off there. I'm going to a black pencil as well, actually, just to maybe just change the size a little bit. Maybe black is too much, maybe just... So now I'm starting to shade in, you see, but it fits because I'm using the same pencil. It's not been reduced in size. I don't know what's going off with these dots. I've got the right brush. See, this particular sheet is quite abstract, really. And I'm just going to... I think these sheep are safe to say that they're going to be left there now. So I am going to just... I'm on the right layer. Yeah, I think I am. Oh, there we are. I just want to take that out. So you can see that sheep's behind that one. Getting with a bit more shading. I'm going to just work on this top layer. Here we go. I need to be a bit bigger, thicker pencil again now. I don't know how much of this I should be doing with pencil and what I can do with the brush, actually. I think I'll make sure I leave plenty of space to get some shading in with that brush, and then I can sort of work in like that. A little bit darker colour. This one could be quite dark. Here we go. I don't know how long this video's going. 25 minutes. That's not too bad. I don't want it to go on like forever and ever. I start to get worried when they get over 45 minutes. But I have to say, I mean, I used to do these videos, and it would take like 10 minutes. I did a lot of videos that would be just sort of 10 minutes long. And I can't remember the last time I did a 10-minute video. We've got to get all of these shadows in, because this is what ties the whole thing to the ground. It's really important that we get these shadows right. And I'm thinking we need some sort of tufts of grass in here as well. And I'm liking these sort of other trees that are kind of going behind there, which are even darker. And I suppose we could have the odd fence post in, like that. I'm liking the scribbling. I've loosened up now. I've got the thing going. I find this fence on the right a bit of a distraction, so I'm not going to put that in. We'll have a little bit of a bush thing going off there though. And these trees, I quite like them. Should we put like this field going through there? This other one. Well, I've got this bit of a tree. We could probably... I've got that wrong. Well, let's just... I definitely think my pen's on its way out. There we are. These trees are sort of a bit further back, you see, like that. And they go right up to the top. I nearly fell into the trap where I'd got them all the same height. Which wouldn't have done at all. All the same distance apart and everything. Would not want that. And we can have an even fainter line of trees. There, like that. I'm seeing this tree here, and I'm just wondering if we should put it in. But if I do that, have we got everything over to the left? Let's start putting some washes in. I'll just take that out, and we'll take it from there. So I'm going to create a new layer for the washes, but I'm going to put the layer right at the bottom, like that. And I suppose we'll start up here. too much that. Hang on. Just take the opacity down a bit. I like that bit where sort of got this really and I like that too. Leave that highlight there. Ooh. Now, do I leave that in? I'm going to leave that in. That happy accident. Yeah, that's staying. That looks so watercolour like. I like it. I like it. I'm pressing on hard to get these real darks. I've got to be careful here because I kind of want to. Oh, but I can take the eraser and just lift that out to keep the sheet looking good. Yeah, back to the brush, and the brush I'm using the third one, which is like a pear drop. That's interesting, those blobs there. I'm going to leave them in, that's for sure. Just reduce the brush a little bit. Now, I'm not liking that. I wanted an odd edge on that, so I think I might need to make a new layer at this point. I'll put it on top of that one. Oh, I don't want to merge. I just want it to go there. That's it. And that's what I wanted. Look. And I can use this to colour in the sheet. Yeah, I like that dot, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the eraser just to get rid of this splodge of colour there. I suppose I could make the brush smaller to do the finer work. That's a bit too small. Am I going too dark? I don't think so. I don't think I am. This is the main focal point of the piece, so could use the blending stump. Just to soften that a bit. Now it looks like I'm losing lots of detail in these sheep, but I'm going to go back and put it back in, I think. I'd probably crop this as well, you know. I would probably bring that along, make that a bit shorter like that. And I'm thinking do we need another wash? Let's create another layer. With a really big brush. Not that colour though. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create one more layer. I think that was an empty layer, I'm not sure. And on this layer, I'm going back to my pencil. I'm going to go back in with a really dark sepia and just where I think I need to, and do some more drawing. Tighten it all up. And also, I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I do that actually. I'm going to take some white and I'm going to pop in where I think we need these white edges. And this is why I wasn't worried about the colour. Bleeding all over the drawing and then us losing all of the detail, because I know I was going to come in with this and just pop it back in again. Like that. So look at that. There we go. And the same with this one. And this one. There. So now I've done that, I'm just wondering, do I need to... I think that's all the white done, to be honest. Unless we, of course, we like have some, a few grasses highlighted. Because we've got all this empty space here, we could probably fill that up a little bit. With maybe some dark tufts there, I'll put them in a minute. Some lighter ones here. And maybe even a twig or something. Like that. yeah, I'm not going to overdo it. Let's get back to the black. Put a few. And I'm just sort of putting tones in now, working over these washes. I'm just wondering if I need something here, a tree or something. Just to, and I could probably, I'm thinking if I go in with a bit of something in here, a tree. Just all tight together. Well, when I say tree, I'm thinking bush actually. Frantically scribbling. And I'm kind of going to do a similar sort of thing as what I did the other side. But I could probably put a few white branches in there as well. Might need to just wash that a bit. Let's see. Let's just change that back to white. See what I mean? It's sort of just adds that little bit of sparkle. I need to get that wash brush, put it on a wash layer. I think I need to create a new one. Well, I've got a layer there, haven't I? I can put that there. Just wash a bit of dark. Oh, too much. Ooh. You see, I don't like that, and that's why we're doing a sketch, isn't it? Really. So I'm going to go back up here. Take that out, perhaps. I didn't like it quite. I just felt it lost the old balance. So maybe just down to about there. But I like them few white branches in there, and then we need some darker ones here. It's going to come out like this. So they're clearly behind that bush, this little bush here. Maybe a little something there. And I think that's it. I think I've taken that photo and turned that into a reasonable idea for a possible painting. So I'll just sign that off. There we go. Using Tayasui to work out ideas, but instead of doing a series of thumbnails, I've just done the one and used the cut tool to move elements around. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.